Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our English conversation series. We are so pleased that you've joined us today.
Whether you're watching for the first time or you've been with us since episode 1, thank you for being here. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with your friends and family. Every subscription and every share helps us reach more English learners around the world.
And remember, this podcast isn't only for IELTS candidates. It's for anyone who wants to improve their English, communicate more confidently, and enjoy learning through natural conversations.
So, grab a cup of tea, relax, and let's improve our English together. Today's topic is planning a weekend trip. Let's get started.
Sarah, I've been thinking about getting away for a weekend. We've both been working quite hard lately, and I feel we deserve a little break. Nothing too expensive or too far away, just somewhere peaceful where we can relax, enjoy some fresh air, and forget about work for a couple of days. Have you ever planned a short weekend trip that turned out to be really memorable?
Actually, yes, I have. And I think weekend trips are often more enjoyable than long holidays because they're much easier to organise. You don't need to take many days off work, and you don't have to spend a fortune. A few months ago, my friends and I planned a weekend in the Lake District. We booked a cozy cottage, packed some comfortable clothes, and spent 2 days hiking, visiting small villages, and trying local food. The weather wasn't perfect, but we still had an amazing time because we weren't in a rush. It reminded me that sometimes the simplest trips create the happiest memories.
That sounds wonderful. I think choosing the right destination is probably the most important part of planning. Personally, I don't enjoy spending hours traveling if I'm only away for 2 days. I'd rather pick somewhere that's only a couple of hours away by train or by car. That way, I can spend more time exploring instead of sitting in traffic or waiting at stations. What do you usually consider before choosing a destination?
I usually think about several things before making a decision. First of all, I consider my budget because I don't want to spend more money than I can comfortably afford. Then I look at the weather forecast, especially if I plan to spend time outdoors. I also read reviews about hotels, restaurants, and attractions because they often help me avoid disappointing places. Finally, I ask myself what kind of weekend I really want. Sometimes I need adventure and excitement, while at other times I simply want peace, quiet, and a comfortable place to read a book.
That's a very sensible way of planning. Speaking of budgets, I think many people assume traveling has to be expensive, but I don't really agree. If you book accommodation early, look for discounted train tickets, and avoid eating in tourist traps, you can save quite a lot of money. In fact, I think careful planning often makes a trip more enjoyable because you're not constantly worrying about your expenses.
I completely agree. I also think setting a realistic budget helps you relax because you know exactly how much you're willing to spend. For example, I usually divide my budget into different categories, such as accommodation, transport, food, activities, and a little extra money for unexpected expenses. That way, if something costs more than expected, I don't feel stressed because I've already planned for it. Being organised gives me much more confidence while travelling.
Another thing I always think about is accommodation. There are so many options these days, from hotels and guest houses to holiday cottages and even camping. Personally, I prefer staying in a small family-run hotel because the atmosphere often feels warmer and more welcoming. The owners usually know the local area well and can recommend lovely cafes or hidden attractions that tourists might otherwise miss.
I feel exactly the same. Local recommendations are often much better than guidebooks. During one of my trips, the owner of our guest house suggested a quiet beach that wasn't mentioned in any travel brochure. It was absolutely beautiful, and there were hardly any people there. Experiences like that make a trip feel much more authentic. because you discover places that aren't crowded with visitors.
Once the accommodation is booked, I enjoy planning activities. I don't like every minute of the trip to be scheduled because I want some flexibility, but I do think it's useful to have a rough plan. Otherwise, you can waste valuable time deciding what to do after you've arrived. I usually make a list of interesting places, choose 2 or 3 priorities, and leave enough free time to explore naturally.
That's exactly my approach as well. I think having a balance between planning and spontaneity is very important. If you organize every single hour, the trip can start to feel like work instead of a holiday. On the other hand, if you don't plan anything at all, you might miss the most interesting attractions because you simply didn't know they existed. A flexible schedule allows you to enjoy both structure and freedom.
Food is another important part of traveling for me. I always enjoy trying local dishes because they tell you something about the culture and traditions of the area. Even if I'm only away for 2 days, I'd rather eat in independent cafes or restaurants than in international fast food chains. I think tasting regional food is one of the easiest ways to make a trip more memorable.
I couldn't agree more. Every region has something unique to offer, and trying local specialities often becomes one of the highlights of the journey. Before traveling, I usually search for highly rated local restaurants and read reviews written by residents rather than tourists. I also enjoy visiting local markets because they give you the opportunity to see fresh produce, speak to friendly stallholders, and experience everyday life in the community.
One thing that sometimes worries me is the weather. In Britain, it's impossible to predict with complete confidence, even a few days in advance. I've learnt that it's always wise to pack for different conditions. Even if sunshine is expected, I still bring a waterproof jacket because the weather can change incredibly quickly.
That's definitely true. I always pack layers because temperatures can vary throughout the day. Comfortable walking shoes are essential too, because you often walk much more than expected while exploring a new place. I also keep a small backpack with a reusable water bottle, a power bank for my phone, and a light umbrella. Those simple items have saved me from many inconvenient situations.
Speaking of packing, I used to overpack every time I traveled. I'd fill an enormous suitcase with clothes I never wore. Now I've realized that traveling light is much more convenient. Carrying less means moving around more easily, checking into accommodation more quickly, and spending less time deciding what to wear.
I used to make exactly the same mistake. Nowadays, I prepare a packing list several days before leaving. I check it carefully, remove unnecessary items, and only pack things I'll genuinely use. I think experience teaches us that we need far less than we imagine. Traveling with a smaller bag makes the entire journey much more comfortable.
One of the nicest things about weekend trips is spending quality time with the people you're traveling with. Whether it's family members, close friends, or your partner, being away from everyday responsibilities gives you the chance to have meaningful conversations and create lasting memories together. Those shared experiences are often far more valuable than expensive souvenirs.
I completely agree. Looking back, I rarely remember the things I bought during my travels, but I always remember the conversations, the laughter, the beautiful views, and the unexpected moments that made us smile. Those memories stay with us for years. I think that's the real purpose of traveling, not simply visiting a new place, but experiencing life from a different perspective and appreciating the people around us.
After talking about all this, I honestly feel inspired to organize another weekend trip quite soon. It doesn't have to be somewhere famous or luxurious. Sometimes a quiet town, a peaceful countryside walk, or a relaxing seaside village is exactly what we need. I think taking regular short breaks helps us return to work feeling refreshed, more positive, and much more productive. Even a simple change of scenery can improve our mood and reduce stress.
I completely agree. Modern life can become so busy that we often forget how important it is to slow down and enjoy ourselves. Planning a weekend away gives us something exciting to look forward to, and the memories we create often last much longer than the trip itself. It also gives us an opportunity to disconnect from our daily routines, spend less time on our phones, and pay more attention to the people and places around us. Those moments of relaxation are incredibly valuable.
Another thing I've realized is that traveling also improves our communication skills. We speak to new people, ask for directions, order food, solve small problems, and sometimes even practice another language. Every journey teaches us something new, whether it's about another place or about ourselves. That's one of the reasons I think traveling is one of the best forms of education.
That's such an interesting point. Traveling really does build confidence. Even planning the trip develops useful skills, like budgeting, organizing your time, researching information, and making decisions. These are skills we use in everyday life as well. So, a weekend trip isn't just about having fun. It's also an opportunity to grow as a person while enjoying new experiences.
Well, Sarah, I've really enjoyed today's conversation. I hope our listeners have learnt plenty of useful vocabulary and expressions related to planning a weekend trip.
We certainly hope so. Remember, the best way to improve your English is to listen regularly, practice speaking aloud, and use the new vocabulary in your own conversations. Progress comes through consistency, not perfection.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with anyone who would like to improve their English. Your support means a great deal to us and helps our community continue to grow.
And we'd really love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and tell us what new words, phrases, or ideas you learnt from today's episode. We'd also love to know where your dream weekend destination is and why you'd like to visit it.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today.
Take care of yourselves, keep practicing your English every day, and remember that every small step brings you closer to fluency.
See you in the next episode. Goodbye.